High above the Earth, satellites are constantly watching. These eyes in the sky see things that people on the ground might miss. Recently, they spotted something huge happening just outside of Beijing, China. In an area called Qinglonghu, about 20 miles from the city center, a massive construction project is underway. The pictures show enormous pits being dug deep into the ground. Experts looked at these images and realized this was not an ordinary building project. China is building a gigantic underground military command center, a secret base hidden from plain view. This project is a clear sign of China's big plans for its military. The discovery has sent ripples of surprise around the world. For months, the construction continued quietly, covering an area of about 1,500 acres. This is an incredibly large piece of land. To give an idea of its size, experts say the finished complex could be nearly 10 times bigger than the Pentagon, which is the headquarters of the United States Department of Defense. The scale of the project tells us that this is not just another military base. It is a statement. China is showing the world that it is serious about becoming a top military power, ready to protect its leaders and command its forces from a secure, deep bunker. This new base is sometimes called Beijing Military City. It is designed to be a fortress, a place where China's top leaders could go in a time of major war. The deep pits seen in the satellite photos are likely for hardened shelters. These shelters are built to survive even the most powerful attacks, including nuclear bombs. For a long time, China has used a place called the Western Hills as its main wartime command center. This new, much larger base is expected to take its place. It represents a huge leap forward in China's ability to protect its command and control systems during a crisis. The construction started in the middle of 2024, but the idea behind it is much older. China has been studying how to build strong underground bunkers for decades. Starting in the 1980s, it created special teams to learn from the best designs, including those from the Soviet Union and Germany during the Cold War. This new project, however, is on a scale that has never been seen before. It combines old ideas about survival with the newest technology. The revelation of this base through satellite images gives us a clue about the future direction of China's military and its ambitions on the global stage. So, what makes this underground base so special? It is all about protection and technology. The main goal is to create a doomsday bunker for China's military leadership. This means it must be able to keep working even if the country is under attack. The base is being built deep underground to protect it from bombs and missiles. It will be a self-contained city, capable of supporting thousands of people for a long time without any help from the outside world. This shows China is thinking about worst-case scenarios and preparing for a future where its leadership needs to be completely secure. Inside this hidden fortress, China will install the most advanced technology available. This includes state-of-the-art communication systems. These systems will allow China's leaders to talk to their military forces all over the world, from submarines deep in the ocean to satellites in space. The communication network will be heavily protected to prevent enemies from listening in or shutting it down. The base will also have cutting-edge defense mechanisms. These defenses will protect it from both physical attacks and cyber attacks, ensuring that China's military command remains safe and operational, no matter what happens on the surface. This underground city is a key part of President Xi Jinping's plan for China. His goal is for China to have the world's most powerful military by the year 2049. To achieve this, China needs more than just ships, planes, and soldiers. It needs a command system that cannot be destroyed. This base is the brain of the military, and China is making sure that brain is protected by layers of rock, concrete, and advanced technology. It reflects a concern that China could be surrounded by unfriendly powers, and it needs a place to command its forces if a conflict ever breaks out. The strategy behind building such a base is about resilience. In modern warfare, the first thing an enemy might try to do is decapitate the leadership by attacking command centers. If a country loses its ability to command its military, it can lose a war very quickly. By building this massive, hardened facility, China is making sure that it can withstand a first strike and still be able to fight back. This makes its military much more sustainable in a long conflict and sends a powerful message that it is prepared for any challenge that might come its way. The news of China's giant underground base has made other countries nervous. In Asia, nations that are geographically close to China are watching this development with great concern. Countries like Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines are worried about what this means for the stability of the region. A more powerful and better protected Chinese military could become more assertive in territorial disputes, such as those in the South China Sea. These neighboring countries are now re-evaluating their own defense plans. They are asking themselves if they need to spend more on their own militaries or form new alliances to feel safe. The United States, as the world's current leading military power, is paying very close attention. This new Chinese base is seen as a direct challenge to American influence in Asia and around the globe. For decades, the United States has been the dominant force in the Pacific. China's military growth, and now this massive command center, changes that equation. In response, the United States may feel pressured to increase its own military presence in the region. This could mean sending more ships, planes, and troops to bases in places like Japan and Guam to show that it is still committed to the security of its allies. This situation is creating what some people call a new kind of arms race. During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union built many bunkers and missile silos. Now, we are seeing something similar happen with the United States and China. As one side builds up its military capabilities, the other side feels it must do the same to keep up. This can lead to a dangerous cycle of increasing military spending and rising tensions. The construction of the Beijing Military City could trigger more investment in military technology and infrastructure not just from the United States, but from other global powers as well. The reactions are not the same everywhere, of course. Some countries might see an opportunity in China's rise. They may choose to build closer ties with China, hoping for economic benefits or security partnerships. Other nations are trying to find a middle ground, not wanting to choose a side between the United States and China. However, the overall effect is one of uncertainty. The construction of this base is forcing every country to think about its relationship with China and its own security strategy in a world where the balance of power is clearly shifting and becoming more complex. The discovery of China's underground military city marks a new chapter in global security. This is more than just a construction project. It is a symbol of a changing world order. For a long time, the United States has been the undisputed leader. Now, China is working hard to become its equal, and this base is a concrete step in that direction. This shift could make the world a more competitive and potentially more dangerous place. The future of peace in Asia and across the globe may depend on how China decides to use its growing power and how other countries, especially the United States, choose to respond to it. One of the biggest questions is how this will affect the risk of conflict. Some experts worry that as China becomes more confident in its ability to survive a war, it might be more willing to take risks. For example, the issue of Taiwan remains a major flashpoint. China considers Taiwan to be a part of its territory, while the United States has a policy of helping Taiwan defend itself. A secure command center could make Chinese leaders feel more prepared for a potential conflict over Taiwan. This increases the tension and makes careful diplomacy more important than ever to avoid a catastrophic war between two major powers. Looking ahead, we are likely to see a period of increased military competition. China has already been rapidly increasing its number of nuclear warheads since 2020. This hardened command center is another piece of that puzzle. In response, the United States and its allies will likely work to develop new technologies and strategies to counter China's advantages. This could include better surveillance to monitor China's activities, more advanced missile defense systems, and stronger alliances in the Indo-Pacific region. The goal for these countries will be to maintain a balance of power that discourages any one side from starting a conflict. Ultimately, the future of peace and security depends on communication and understanding. While the construction of this underground base is a military development, the solution to the tensions it creates may be political. Leaders from China, the United States, and other nations will need to talk to each other to manage their disagreements and avoid misunderstandings. The world is entering a new era with multiple powerful players. Navigating this new landscape will require careful statesmanship and a shared commitment to preventing competition from turning into conflict, ensuring that these massive fortresses remain symbols of preparation, not preludes to war.